Introduction. Getting older comes with many changes. Some are welcome, like greater wisdom and emotional resilience. Others, such as slower recall or difficulty concentrating, can feel unsettling. But what if we told you that many of the changes we associate with an aging brain aren't inevitable? In fact, science is increasingly showing that lifestyle plays a powerful role in brain health, and that some everyday habits might be quietly shrinking your brain and accelerating mental decline. After age 60, the brain becomes more vulnerable to certain stressors. While it's true that natural aging affects memory and cognition, certain behaviors, repeated over time, can dramatically worsen the process. And here's the kicker. Many of these behaviors don't feel harmful. They might even seem harmless or normal. But inside your brain, they may be triggering inflammation, reducing blood flow, or starving your neurons of essential nutrients. In this video, we'll uncover 7 habits that can damage your brain, particularly after 60. Whether it's a seemingly innocent routine or a long-standing lifestyle choice, these habits could be stealing your clarity, memory, and mental sharpness, often without you realizing it. The good news? By identifying and changing them, you can protect your brain and even reverse some of the damage. Each chapter will explore a different habit, backed by science. If you enjoy these tips and want more uplifting videos like this, don't forget to subscribe with simple tips to shift toward brain-protective behaviors. You'll learn how certain dietary choices, emotional patterns, and even social habits might be hurting your brain, and what to do instead. If you've ever walked into a room and forgotten why, or struggled to find the right word mid-sentence, you're not alone. But aging doesn't have to mean mental decline. With the right knowledge and action, your brain can remain vibrant, adaptive, and strong, well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. So if you're ready to clear the fog and reclaim your mental edge, stay with us. Your brain deserves it. Chapter 1. Chronic sleep deprivation, starving the brain of recovery. Sleep is not just rest. It's one of the most powerful brain regeneration tools we have. Yet, many people over 60 experience disrupted sleep or get used to sleeping fewer hours than they need. This can become one of the most damaging habits for brain health, especially over time. When you don't get enough sleep, your brain misses out on critical processes like memory consolidation, emotional regulation, and the clearing away of toxic proteins, including beta amyloid, the same protein associated with Alzheimer's disease. Just one night of poor sleep can impair cognition the next day. But chronic sleep deprivation? It's like slowly turning down the volume on your brain's capacity to function. Unfortunately, sleep problems tend to increase with age. Changes in circadian rhythm, less physical activity, certain medications, or chronic pain can all interfere with deep, restorative sleep. However, many people shrug it off, thinking that's just aging. That's a dangerous myth. Sleep is not optional for brain health. It's essential. Chronic sleep deprivation affects the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. Studies have shown that even moderate sleep loss can reduce the volume of the hippocampus and increase your risk for cognitive decline and dementia. Moreover, lack of sleep increases cortisol, the stress hormone, which further damages brain cells and shrinks gray matter in areas responsible for learning and emotion. What's more, poor sleep makes it harder to make healthy choices during the day. You're more likely to reach for sugary foods, skip exercise, or feel emotionally reactive. Over time, these ripple effects compound, setting up a cycle of mental and physical exhaustion that can be difficult to break. The good news? Sleep can improve at any age. It starts with prioritizing it, creating a consistent bedtime routine, limiting screen time in the evening, keeping your bedroom cool and dark, and avoiding caffeine and alcohol late in the day can make a huge difference. Regular movement during the day, especially in natural light, also supports circadian health. If you snore heavily or wake up gasping, speak to your doctor about sleep apnea, a serious condition that deprives your brain of oxygen during the night and significantly raises your risk of cognitive issues. Sleep is your brain's maintenance time. Skipping on it is like skipping oil changes in your car. Eventually, it breaks down. Make sleep sacred. Your brain will thank you. Chapter 2. Poor diet, feeding your brain the wrong fuel. Your brain consumes about 20% of your body's energy, even though it only represents around 2% of your body weight. This means that what you eat has a direct and profound impact on how well your brain functions. And yet, many people over 60 fall into dietary habits that slowly starve the brain of essential nutrients while flooding it with harmful substances. One of the biggest culprits? Ultra-processed foods, high in refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and chemical additives. These foods cause chronic inflammation, disrupt blood sugar balance, and impair blood flow to the brain. Over time, this damages neurons and contributes to brain shrinkage, especially in areas responsible for learning and memory. Another damaging habit is low intake of healthy fats, particularly omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish, walnuts, and flax seeds. Omega-3s are crucial for maintaining the structure and fluidity of brain cell membranes. A deficiency has been linked to depression, memory problems, and an increased risk of dementia. Too much sugar is also a serious threat. Chronically elevated blood sugar, even in non-diabetics, has been shown to reduce brain volume. It creates a process called glycation, which damages proteins and accelerates aging in brain tissues. Studies now link high sugar intake to impaired cognitive flexibility, memory decline, and mood instability. If this video speaks to you, feel free to leave a little comment and hit like. It really helps the channel grow, and we truly appreciate it. But it's not just what we eat, it's also what we don't. Many people over 60 eat fewer fruits, vegetables, and whole foods rich in antioxidants and polyphenol. These compounds protect brain cells from oxidative stress, a major contributor to cognitive aging. A lack of key vitamins like B12, folate, and vitamin D can also impair cognition and memory, and these deficiencies are surprisingly common in older adults. Even dehydration plays a role. The brain is around 75% water, and just mild dehydration can affect attention and memory. Yet many older adults drink less water due to a reduced sense of thirst or fear of frequent bathroom trips. So how can we turn things around? Transitioning to a Mediterranean-style diet rich in leafy greens, berries, whole grains, legumes, fish, and healthy oils has been shown to slow brain aging and reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Staying hydrated, limiting processed snacks, and incorporating brain-friendly fats and nutrients can transform your cognitive health. The food on your plate is either feeding your brain or slowly fading it. Make your meals a source of nourishment, clarity, and resilience. Chapter 3: Chronic Stress, the Silent Brain Killer. Stress is a natural part of life, and a small amount can even sharpen your focus or boost your performance. But chronic, unrelenting stress, especially the emotional kind that simmers beneath the surface, is one of the most toxic forces for the aging brain. After 60, your brain becomes more sensitive to the effects of long-term stress. One of the main reasons is cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. When you're constantly stressed, cortisol remains elevated, and over time, this hormone starts to do damage. It shrinks the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, memory, and emotional regulation, and increases the size of the amygdala, the fear center, making you more reactive and anxious. Studies show that chronic stress can literally shrink the brain. MRI scans of people under high stress have revealed reduced volume in the hippocampus, which is essential for forming new memories. In older adults, this leads to forgetfulness, mental fatigue, and even confusion, symptoms often misattributed to aging alone. Worse, stress contributes to systemic inflammation, which harms blood vessels and reduces cerebral blood flow. It also disrupts sleep, appetite, and mood, creating a negative feedback loop that accelerates both physical and mental decline. One of the most harmful patterns is rumination, the habit of mentally replaying negative events or worrying about the future. This not only prolongs stress, but reinforces it in the brain, like carving a deeper mental groove. Over time, this rewires your brain toward anxiety and emotional reactivity. So what can be done? While you can't eliminate all stress, you could transform your relationship to it. Practicing mindfulness meditation, even for just 10 minutes a day, has been shown to reduce cortisol levels and improve cognitive flexibility. Engaging in regular physical activity is another powerful antidote. It helps metabolize stress hormones and boosts mood-enhancing chemicals like serotonin and dopamine. Equally important is social connection. Sharing your feelings with a trusted friend, joining a group, or simply engaging in lighthearted conversation can significantly reduce perceived stress and provide emotional grounding. Lastly, consider practices like journaling, yoga, time in nature, or creative hobbies. These aren't luxuries, they're medicine for your brain. You can't stop all of life's storms, but you can strengthen your mental umbrella. Managing stress is not just about feeling better. It's about protecting your brain from silent but serious damage. Chapter 4: Social Isolation, Disconnecting from What Keeps the Brain Alive. Human beings are inherently social creatures. Our brains are wired for connection, and not just emotionally. Social interaction is essential for maintaining cognitive health. Yet after 60, many people experience a shrinking social circle due to retirement, relocation, health issues, or the loss of loved ones. While this may seem like a natural part of aging, chronic social isolation can be profoundly damaging to the brain. Research has shown that loneliness and social isolation increase the risk of cognitive decline by as much as 50%. That's more than some physical risk factors like obesity or smoking. The reason? When we engage with others through conversation, empathy, laughter, or collaboration, we activate multiple brain regions, from memory centers to emotional processing zones. When that stimulation disappears, those areas weaken from underuse. Over time, this can reduce brain plasticity, the ability to form new connections and retain information. Studies have even found that people who are socially isolated tend to have smaller brain volumes, especially in regions critical for language and cognition. Social isolation also increases the risk of depression and anxiety, both of which independently contribute to cognitive decline. Moreover, loneliness elevates stress hormones and inflammation, creating a harmful environment for brain cells. It's not just about feeling sad. It's about the brain being deprived of vital stimulation and support. What makes this habit especially dangerous is that it can sneak up quietly. Someone might stop going out as much, avoid phone calls, or lose interest in group activities, often brushing it off as just needing time alone. But prolonged isolation rewires the brain toward withdrawal and cognitive slowdown. Reversing this habit doesn't necessarily require a packed social calendar. It starts with intentional connection. That might mean calling a friend once a day, joining a book club, volunteering, or participating in community classes. Even digital connections, like video chats or online forums, can offer meaningful interaction when in-person contact isn't possible. For those feeling truly isolated, therapy or support groups can provide a safe space to rebuild confidence and re-engage socially. And don't underestimate the power of small acts. Chatting with a neighbor, greeting someone on a walk, or even writing letters can keep social circuits alive. The brain thrives on stimulation, and conversation is one of the most powerful, natural brain exercises. Don't wait for connection to happen. Create it. Your cognitive health depends on it. Chapter 5: Physical Inactivity, Letting the Brain Rust. It's easy to think of exercise as something for the body, to keep muscles strong, joints flexible, and the heart pumping. But one of the most overlooked truths in aging is that movement is also brain medicine. In fact, staying physically inactive after 60 may be one of the most damaging habits for your cognitive health. When you move, especially through aerobic activities like walking, swimming, or cycling, your body increases blood flow, not just to your muscles, but to your brain. This blood carries oxygen and vital nutrients, which support the growth of new brain cells and the maintenance of existing ones. Regular movement has been shown to increase the size of the hippocampus, the very part of the brain responsible for learning and memory. By contrast, a sedentary lifestyle leads to reduced blood flow, more inflammation, and higher risks of chronic illnesses like hypertension, diabetes, and obesity, all of which have strong links to dementia and cognitive decline. Simply put, If your body stops moving, your brain starts deteriorating faster. Exercise also stimulates the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a kind of fertilizer for your neurons. BDNF helps protect existing brain cells and encourages the growth of new ones. Low levels of BDNF are associated with memory problems, depression, and neurodegenerative diseases. Beyond the biological effects, physical activity also supports mental resilience. It improves sleep quality, reduces anxiety, boosts mood, and enhances focus. People who move regularly report better emotional stability and faster cognitive processing, even into their 70s and 80s. The problem is, after retirement or during periods of reduced mobility, many people become increasingly sedentary. Hours spent sitting, watching TV, browsing the internet, or simply not engaging in movement begin to accumulate. And without intentional activity, the brain suffers. The good news? It's never too late to start. Even moderate movement, like brisk walking 30 minutes a day, can yield profound benefits. Incorporating gentle strength training, balance exercises, or Tai Chi can also enhance coordination and reduce fall risk. Dancing, gardening, even standing up and stretching every hour during the day, it all counts. And remember, the best exercise is the one you'll actually do. Consistency matters more than intensity. Think of movement not as a chore, but as a gift to your brain. Every step you take is a signal to your body that you want to stay sharp, vital, and alive, not just physically, but mentally too. Conclusion: it's not too late. Reclaiming your brain after 60. Aging is not a sentence, it's a shift. And while some brain changes are natural as we get older, mental decline is not inevitable. The habits you've explored in this video aren't just random risks. They're silent saboteurs that, over time, chip away at your mental sharpness, your memory, and even your sense of self. But here's the most important truth. It's not too late to change course. After 60, your brain is still capable of neuroplasticity, the ability to form new connections and repair old ones. This means that even if you've practiced some of these damaging habits for years, making changes now can still lead to noticeable improvements in clarity, focus, and emotional stability. The brain is astonishingly adaptable, especially when supported with the right inputs. Let's recap the journey. Chronic sleep deprivation, it can shrink memory centers, but better sleep hygiene can restore cognitive energy. Poor diet, it inflames and starves the brain, but nutritious, anti-inflammatory foods can reverse that. Chronic stress, it rewires your brain for fear, but mindfulness and emotional tools can reclaim calm. Social isolation, it shrinks vital brain regions, but even small connections reignite neural networks. Physical inactivity, it dulls the mind, but movement rebuilds it from the inside out. This isn't about perfection. It's about awareness and intention. Begin with one small change. Prioritize quality sleep. Add berries or leafy greens to your plate. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Take a short walk after breakfast. Each choice becomes a message to your brain. You still matter, you are still growing, and your best days aren't behind you. And remember, protecting your brain isn't just about preventing disease. It's about enhancing joy, clarity, and connection in daily life. It's about remembering names, finding words, laughing deeply, staying curious, and feeling confident in your thoughts. If this message resonates with you, consider sharing it with someone you care about. You might help them reclaim their own mental vitality. A sharper mind leads to a richer life, no matter your age. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Share in the comments what stood out to you in this video. We'd love to hear it. Your feedback means a lot. Subscribe to Thrive Beyond 60, turn on the bell, and join us for more videos. See you very soon.